Fray Bernardino de Sahagún was a Franciscan friar, missionary priest, and pioneering anthropologist participating in the Catholic evangelization of colonial New Spain, now Mexico. He investigated Aztecs and their culture, documenting their religious beliefs and environmental knowledge. His primary motivation was to evangelize indigenous Mesoamerican peoples. However, his extraordinary research project earned him the title the first anthropologist. Bernardino's investigations into creation, humanity, and science from the perspective of Aztec peoples are an outstanding example of the Franciscan intellectual tradition in action. Bernardino is best known as the primary creator of the Florentine Codex, which documents his anthropological research, conducted with former students, to interpret Mesoamerican reality for European Catholics. Originally titled La Historia General de las Cosas de Nueva España, this 2,000-page encyclopedia is one of the most remarkable records of cultural contact in human history. Bernardino worked across cultural boundaries, and he confronted a classic problem, one which we still face today. How do we understand people who speak, behave, think, and believe in ways that do not make sense to us? In his era, some of his fellow Spaniards saw the Aztecs as mere property, slaves, or less than human. Some of his fellow Franciscans worked to convert Aztecs, but without understanding their language or their culture. In contrast, Bernardino realized that Europeans did not really understand these people, and in order to preach fruitfully to them, he had to understand them. So he set out to do just that. Bernardino's most impressive contribution was his pioneering research methodology, for he created new forms of gathering knowledge and justifying it. He spent more than 50 years interviewing elders, native healers, merchants, and students. He conducted research in the Aztec language with the help of native translators and artists. He asked them about their culture, language, and moral traditions, elders, artisanship, trading patterns, and civic life. He asked them to explain their gods, religious rituals, and calendars. Bernardino was particularly interested in Aztec medicine. This was not trivial, since many thousands of people died from plagues and diseases, including his fellow Franciscans. La Historia General describes human anatomy, disease, and medicinal plant remedies, known as ethnobotany. It provides detailed information about the location, cultivation, and uses of plants for healing. Half of the drawings in La Historia General are of natural history, reflecting Aztec cultural understanding of the animals, birds, insects, fish, and trees of Mesoamerica. The beauty of these paintings speak for themselves. Bernardino developed novel strategies for gathering and validating knowledge of indigenous New World cultures. He reported their worldview, not as the Europeans understood it, but as they understood it. Centuries later, the scientific discipline of anthropology would formalize this method as ethnography. Bernardino's research and his approach to researching culture made a substantial contribution to the thought of human society. He blended the practice of empathy with a rigorous approach to creating knowledge. Thus, he embodies the best traits of the Franciscan intellectual tradition. Foremost in his own mind, Bernardino was a Franciscan missionary, but he may also rightfully claim the title as the first anthropologist.